Right, we're live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We're here for yet another match of the Currie Cup. This one, it is a big one. The Blue Bulls going to be taking on the Western Province for this fixture. It's at Loftus. It's going to be an awesome game. But if you do enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you're all excited for a big game of the Currie Cup. This was one, even though it's 6 a.m. in New Zealand, I was certainly not going to be missing. The weather forecast at the moment looks like it's partially cloudy, but 20 degrees is the max temperature. So it might be a pretty nice day there in South Africa. But these are the sides that they have got for the starting lineups of both of these sides. We will start with the Blue Bulls, and they are going to be as follows: Matanzima, Du Plessis, and Robert Hunt in the front row. Now, Bismarck Du Plessis, the last time I saw that man in action, he was getting a red card, which almost cost his team the side. The game in their matchup of the URC. But he is back now and raring to go. Then it will be Ludwig, and also it is Juanapul will be slotting in there at number 5. Jaco Lavaskakle, and there Stenkamp and Miller Ice is there for the number 8. We have got there, please, Tim. And there says Alimer, and also we have got there Sakabula in the chat. Said, can't wait for this game. Go Bulls. And also we have got Crazy and Zed. Hope you're doing well, mate. Keegan Johannes here slotting in there at number 9. Morne Stain, the very experienced individual there at number 10. Marco Janssen van Vieren linking up with Hans in the midfield. And then David Creel and James Veridian slotting in there at number 15. So that is the starting lineup for the Bulls. Now we'll look through at the Western Province. There we go. It's just changed. It's going to be Royce, Kotze, and Sunday in the front row. And then from there, Dixon and Evans making up the midfield. That is Connor Evans at number 5 for this one. Namakaba slotting in there at 6. Then Tennyson there at number 7. And Morabi slotting in at number 8. Masimla at 9. Tim Swell is going to have a good battle with Morne Stain for this matchup, as those two, the fly halves, are going to be so important for this fixture, as you're really going to need them to set up the rest of your backline. Angelo Davids out on the left wing, Cornell Smith and Juan de Jong there in the midfield. And then it will be Sergio Peterson and Tristan Lades as the other two in the starting lineup for the Western Province. I almost called them the Western Force accidentally there. But these are the benches that the two sides have got on Friday Rugby, says Reed Nichols. Got to love it as well. We are still sitting at Thursday here in New Zealand, but Super Rugby just around the corner. And when that game is on, we are going to be live for it, and we are going to be covering every game of the weekend that we can. And I believe that's all of them, including some sevens action as well. But for me, the two men off the bench that I'm looking forward to seeing, I'm looking forward to seeing Richard Creel. And also, if I had to pick one for the Western Province, I would probably say Cade Volhata, because he does look like a very talented youngster, and hopefully he does continue that form that he did find recently after coming back from injury. Hopefully he is going to be able to go for the full little while that he is required of him for this matchup. But we'll just move the game to the middle of my screen so I can see what is going on for this matchup. And it should be hopefully a higher scoring game than the last match that we did see. Anyone who doesn't know the score of the Sharks versus Requas game, it was actually 13 points to the Sharks, 6 to the Requas. So pretty close for that one, but only a try in the 10th minute. Other than that, everything else was all penalties for that game. Whereas the Pumas Golden Lions, when they played earlier on, they did have a 45 points to 10 win for the Pumas in that game. But we have got Morne Stain in the middle of our screen, the Bulls captain for this game. And he's going to be very excited to lead his side out for this game. Bismarck Du Plessis, discipline boy. He's got to make sure that he's got to really, okay, I said that twice, but he's got to make sure that he is disciplined throughout this match, because if he gets a card of any sort, that could give the Western Province that little edge that they do need. This game is about to kick off. 6 a.m. start here in New Zealand, and it is Griffin Colby who is going to be in charge of this game as the referee. I'm going to move the chair forward just a little bit so that I can lean back, be relaxed for this game, as it is just about to get underway at Loftus. But the Bulls, they will be kicking off from right to left here to the opposition in the Western Province. Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think will be able to score the first try of this match? For me, I'm going to say it will be Stravino Jacobs, if it is someone for the Bulls. And if it is someone for the Western Province, I'm going to give it to Sergio Peterson. So I'm saying one of the wingers will be able to get the job done. But at this stage, Morne Stain kicking this one off to the far side of the field at Loftus. No crowd on the far side, but I believe they are on the near side. That's a good ball. And then it actually ended up bouncing off kickoff, which is something you really don't like to have happen. But now Masimla looking like he is about to roll it back. Has been told to use it. We'll fire it across the Nabakaba there. And number 6 just to hit it up, get it a little bit further into the middle of the field. And then from there, I believe they will be firing it back, although it looks like they're going to be running it a little bit. De Jong trying to make his way through, but not really happening for them. It's also a knock on there against the Western Province. Bismarck du Plessis cleans it up, and the Bulls have got this ball back, so a mistake not kicking it early on and busy at his age. I should get to grips with the laws by now. We don't need any cards tonight. And there's Sakabola and Noza. We've got there. I mean, that's an interesting set of emojis. Crazy as here. Quite a few different emotions. And I'm liking the last one with the shades on there as well. Nice cross kick from Mornay Stain. Now getting close. It's David Krill. Getting close. It's been put down once again now. 10 meters out. Got to attack and run from the big number 3, which in this one is Robert Hunt. Once again, going to be available for them. Oh, not taken cleanly. And now going back for the initial penalty for the Go Bulls. And there's says Yadamais, welcome into the live stream, and also lol yo. And there's says Crazy NZ. Offside penalty straight away for the Bulls. They could take the easy 3 if they want it. But the question is, will this game... That's the thing. Western Province can score a lot of tries in a hurry when they get going. And it looks like Mornay Stain is kicking for the corner. So I think the Bulls also know that and know that they do need as many points on the board early on as they can. Currently looking through at the table, the way that it is sitting, it is the Cheetahs in first. They are sitting on 26 points. The Blue Bulls are sitting in second. They are on 25 points. And then the Sharks in third on 22. And then the Requas and the Pumas both very close together. 16 for the Requas and 15 for the Pumas. Bismarck du Plessis be throwing this one in. He's not too happy with the gap, saying they're closing a little bit too much. I'm also excited for Stormers versus Bulls this weekend in the URC. So, yeah, it's interesting. These two sides, they play at Currie Cup level, and then they do actually have that rematch of playing at the URC level. And I actually know that the Bulls have announced their side for that match. I'm going to look through and see what the differences are. That's a penalty to the Western Province. A mistake from the Bulls at line-out time does cost them the ball there. But yeah, it will be interesting because we've got the lineup there that they're having up against, in fact, sorry, the Stormers have announced their side up against the Bulls. And looking through, I don't believe there's too many double ups to players who are actually playing at the moment. Other than, no, actually, I think it's completely different. So fair play for both of these sides for having deep enough squads to be able to go with 2 completely lineups or 2 completely different lineups. And also, why didn't they move Bismarck to Currie Cup? I wasn't in the URC. Says Barry Green. Fun fact, he's actually, I think, suspended from the URC at the moment. So he's not allowed to play. So he's decided, I guess there must be some sort of, thing that says because he's suspended from URC, he's still allowed to play Currie Cup because it's a different competition. But yeah, that man is suspended at the moment for his dirty tactics in one of those other games, I believe it was. Now currently going to be available for the Bulls. Keegan Johannes goes back across. They've got another advantage for the offside. It's a good run forward from Hans up to the 22-meter line now. And also Lowell says Crazy NZ. Well, that one is now it's going to be big. I believe that was Janko Swanepoel going forward. Bismarck is always suspended and getting cards since day one. He started rugby. And that's going to be the penalty now for the Bulls. 22 meters out this time. Still an easy enough 3 if they want it, but I think they'll go for it. And also, and his brother Yanni. And how many weeks is he suspended for? I believe it was 3 weeks from what I saw a little while ago, but I think that's about 2 weeks ago. So I think he's close to coming back for the Bulls. It's just, I guess, doing the time for his little mistake. That's the thing. That almost cost them the game up against Munster as well, which was not what he would have been wanting. I'm just still looking through the sides. And yeah, I think everyone is completely different for this game compared to the next one. So it's very impressive that they're able to put together 2 very good sides in a row. But now it's going to be Martin Zima 5 meters out from the line now for the Bulls. King of Johannes passes it back across. Got to attack and run. I believe there was Steenkamp there. Johannes back across. Now this is only a couple meters out for the Bulls, straight in front of the post, and they're around and they score. And it's Bismarck du Plessis, the man who have been talking about plenty of times. He has just scored the opening try of the match for the Blue Bulls. And we have also got the must keep Bismarck here at the Currie Cup. I mean, definitely if he's going to score some tries for his side as well. It's actually a very good one, just popping around the side of the breakdown about 5 meters out. And we better write him on the list of Bulls try scorers. Bulls try scorers. There we go. Right, du Plessis. This is going to test my spelling because sometimes I get it a little bit wrong. I believe it's a capital D for do, isn't it? And then du Plessis, there we go. And we will go like that. See, that's the thing. Some names have the small d, other names have the big D for do. I know they're checking something here, and we should talk about Bismarck more often and bam out him more than he was scoring more tries. Yeah. It's worked a treat from this one. Go Bulls, says Sakabola, although it does seem like they're going upstairs. So they might just be checking something else here to make sure that it is all legal and it is all going to be all right. And they're going up for the TMO. It's taking a bit of time. Someone's got to find the right replay. They found it. No, still looking for it. There we go. Now it is up. Right. So they're saying whether or not Bismarck du Plessis was actually past the ball. Then he picks the ball up. I don't think you're quite allowed to do that. I think he's part of that one. And Bismarck, you suck. You're a weirdo. Yeah, so there's your demise. Although, unfortunately, I think it's going to be a no try here for him, unfortunately, because he did join the breakdown. So due to that, you're not actually allowed to, or not actually allowed to reach back and grab it. Clearly in front of the ball. It's going to be no try. And also the do is not a capital letter. And there's, oh, right, we will switch that around. See, on my lineups thingy, they've got it as a capital. What if they got it on this one out of curiosity? So they've also got it a capital D. So I guess it's a weird one, isn't it? But I will make it a little D. There we go. That does look better having it a small one. And that one, but that's going to be, actually, I'm going to take that back because he didn't score. They've actually given that try back. And that's going to be back to 0-all now. And this one, and also we've got their useless. And then there's Arceus Munster Brain, and also we've got their Bismarck, the no try boy. And then let's go Bulls. So now, but now for the Western Province, they are going to be able to kick this one down the field. But not what Bismarck du Plessis would have been wanting. We were just praising him. That's close to the touchline, but the Bulls keep it in the field of play now. Now running out straight at the line. Good attack and run here. Well, it was actually their number 15 for the Bulls in this game, which is James Veridiam. And does it bring chill? This is your demise, but that one now is going to be the penalty here to the Bulls. Side entry. Not quite allowed to do that, unfortunately, but 6 minutes in now. Mornay Stain once again will be kicking for the corner. So for me, it seems they are really chasing a bonus point here. I'm wondering whether or not, has it actually taken the points back yet? No, it's still got the 5, but they haven't got the 5. At this point in time, they did have that one disallowed, so hopefully it does update itself relatively soon. But straight on the ball, almost was another cover, I think was the man that they were penalising for that one. No, not too sure about that one, but now the line out for Bismarck du Plessis, currently 15 metres out from the line. The question is, will the Bulls score a try before they take that try off them? We will have to wait and see. Now it's a nice rolling maul starting to open up, breaking off the back end. Matanzema. Oh, it's not allowed because I think they did end up with someone in front of the man, and that will now be the Western Province who have got themselves a scrum feed. Seems like they're fighting well in defence at the moment, the Province, but they're going to have to make sure that they keep that up for the full 80 minutes. The Bulls, they have a habit of scoring bonus point tries in quick succession. I believe they're probably one of those sides that have the most for only being at halftime. And also, can you put up the ball score quickly for me, please? And afterwards, the Western Province sure can. So we will go like that and like that. There we go. So that is the Blue Bulls lineup for this one. Bismarck du Plessis almost scoring that first try of the match, but then it was reversed due to him being in front of the ball and then reaching back, grabbing it, etc. there. So that is their lineup. Richard Creel off the bench as well, but we've got David Creel in the starting lineup for this one. I wonder where Jesse Creel's at the moment. Is he overseas or is he actually taking part in some sort of South African rugby? Do let me know if you do know that one. But, geez, there's some big boys, type 5 in the KGs, 552. And then the front row, we've got 347 for the Bulls compared to the 313-ish of the, the Western Province are the big boys in the front row. They are actually the extra by about 30 kgs or so. So a nice little advantage. And then we will also go, there we go, that is the Western Province lineup. So Bulls have an and the Sharks have an and there as well. They sure do. So already isn't it? Whereas 1M is I think I did learn early on in my kind of Afrikaans lessons that I did get, or not really pure lessons. They were just more, I was asking questions to someone who could speak Afrikaans in terms of the pronunciations of those. We've actually got another scrum reset here, so this is actually the perfect time to have these lineups up. This one, but I'm looking forward to seeing Sergio Peterson out on one wing, and also Nawakaba. They are very fond of him at the moment, and who knows, maybe future Bok in the making. Although, first of all, when you talk about players for the Western Province / Stormers for future box in the loose forward trio, you normally mention Efan Ruas, as he is an absolute beast at the moment. He is going to be playing for them in that game up against the Bulls that has taken place this weekend for the URC. I'm not too sure about what games are on then compared to the Champions Cup, but hopefully we can cover many of those games throughout the weekend, no matter what times they are on. That's going to be the penalty there to the Bulls. It's a nice job against the feed to be able to get themselves that penalty. And also, I didn't know Juan de Jong still plays. And as Elsie says at your demise, that's the thing. I feel like some of these guys, you kind of see them disappear from, let's say, France, Japan, etc., 1 or 2 years ago. And some of them you go, oh, that fella. It's like, I mean, Bismarck du Plessis, a lot of people thought that possibly he would have been retiring at some stage, but he just keeps going in the Currie Cup and URC. Also, Mornay Stain, when he announced his retirement from international duty, I know a lot of people were worried that was like the end of his career, but he's probably going to play for the Bulls for another 3 or 4 years if they allow him to. Speaking of that, man, about to line up the 3 points, and when he continues to get points, like, he's just going to be one of the key assets, and it seems like him as a mentor for Chris Smith is huge for them, and who knows, maybe Chris Smith becomes the next Mornay Stain after so much time with him at the Bulls. A true Hamish, because De Jong is like 33 or 34 or something. There's your demise. That one has gone over from Mornay Stain, so now the score will be 3-0 for the Bulls. The scoreboard still doesn't realize what's going on, but I assume once they update the 3, they'll take away the 5 for the no try, is my prediction there. So it's not 5-0, it's currently 3-0, and hopefully it does end up working it out relatively soon, or else it will be very confusing overall. Just looking at it, doesn't look like it knows what's going on. Oh, okay, they've got Tina Turner playing at the ground, simply the best, and I feel like that is a great way of describing Mornay Stain when it comes to a British and Irish Lions tour, because that man, he's probably one of the only guys who can do it 2 times apart. And also Christmas definitely are going to be the next Mornay Stain. He's already takes after Mornay Stain, not as good yet, but I can see him being a young, or I can see a young Stain in him. Says your demise. Okay, the scoreboard has now updated itself, which is great news. But yeah, he's still, how old is Chris Smith? I swear he's only like mid-20s, if that. So he's got plenty of time when it comes to compared to Mornay Stain. For instance, right, Chris Smith. How old is Chris Smith at the moment? No, I don't want to know about the virologist. What is that? Chris Smith Rugby, I think I'm going to have to type in. He's currently 27 years of age, so a little bit older than I thought he was. But he's still got plenty of time in his career there. Currently 3-0 to the Bulls. At this point in time, there was a kick attempted. And I believe he actually kicked it straight out on the full. By the looks of that, it went, oh no, to go just out. And I think that's almost, is that a 50-22? I think Marco Janssen van Vetter might have just nailed that one. He sure did. I was getting confused by the camera angles. I thought he was kicking it the other way for that one while I was looking up Chris Smith. But now 15 metres out. Going to be the throw for Bismarck du Plessis at 27. Still young at least. And there, yeah, so he's still got plenty of time. Like, you give him 4 more years. I feel like a lot of the best fly halves in the world, with the exception of a few, are around that late 20s, early 30s, just because normally, like, just having that vision that you've built up from years and years of playing the position, like, there are those exceptions like Intermax Smith, as in Marcus Smith, that is, etc. But other than that, normally it's those older guys who have been around for a long time, who have really learnt and kind of honed in their craft of being a fly half. It all of a sudden went really dark at the ground. I think maybe the light went out. They've turned it back on now, but it's a penalty to the Bulls. Bismarck after the ball. He has got it, I believe, being 5 metres out. They'll probably kick it for the corner again here for the Bulls. And also the way the Bulls, it feels URC squad is here, but other teams look like Currie Cup, weaker team, B-side team. And there, as I said, Barry, see, that's the thing. The Bulls and also Western Province need a lot of credit here. They've put together a good side, even though they've got 23 more players who are going to be playing in that game for the Stormers this weekend of the URC. They're only about a metre short of the line, if not maybe actually just over it. I think they're going to go upstairs and check this one. He's clearly short. You can't really insult his height like that, mate. He's either just over the try line or not. Very close, but I believe it is going to be a no try now. Although, and also I'm not saying Mornay Stain was the best fly half in history, but he sure is one of the best kickers in history. The dude has a special foot on him. And yeah, Chris Smith, like from what I've seen so far, he also seems like his kicking game is something that he's really working on, not just off the tee, but also territory-wise. Like, I don't think anyone's got more 50-22s in the URC than Chris Smith, just because he sees a gap and he's got that accuracy of just being able to make it awkward for a fullback or a winger who is kind of sitting out there. Currently 14 and a half minutes in, and because he was clearly short, they are now going to be going back for a scrum 5 metres out. And also Montestain also leads the back line when he plays. And there's your demise. And also I wonder Mornay was playing in URC. He probably will be a good asset then as well. It's gone down in the front row again. Penalty to the Western Province. Okay, so someone said something and the referee's not too happy with it. I think it was actually Matanzima initially that went down. He might have had a little listen from one of his touchies who did say, no, it was actually this guy that ended up falling down. So now Tim Swell is growing a beard at the moment. I don't think I've seen that man with a full beard. I can say the same about myself because my beard does not grow very well, sadly. Very patchy. And I was like a point, Amish. So here's your demise there, but 15 metres out. 15 minutes in. An asset, you mean? And this is your demise. I believe so. For that one. That's the thing. Autocorrect can sometimes be a wonderful thing, but it can also be the downfall of a lot of sentences, as I've learned firsthand. And I'll say, yes, Achilles is very green for that one as well. But currently now, little knock on from the Bulls. So once again, making the mistake. They've probably turned down about 3 kickable threes here to try and go for the corner, and none of them have actually led to anything more than just the 3 points that they got earlier on for the Bulls. But it was actually Marcel Tennyson who made a good tackle there. Matanzima, thought for a second that man did have a little bit of a shiner going on, but I think he is just well and truly sweating there. It's supposed to be 20 degrees as a high. It was a good attacking run initially from the Bulls in the form of Robert Hunt. Then from there, Keegan Johannes, I think, ended up just having a bit of a juggle with the ball. In fact, no, it was the big Matanzima in the front row. Currently now, the Western Province once again stuck inside of their 22. Well, he definitely could be a good S2 for the enemy. That is, will he be like, is he out through anything in his path? Liking it all. The groundsman will not be liking that, though. We've just seen the scrum where the last one took place. The turf is completely roughed up. Where is the game between the Bulls and the Stormers being played? I think someone forgot to turn the music off at the ground, and so Mornay is an asset, and as it was something he took at Raves in the 90s. Sakabula. I'm not sure Bulls would have loved him to be there in the URC. I wonder why they chose that decision to keep in the Currie Cup, says Barry Green. Although the thing is, I think if this game's also being played at Loftus, he can go between the two. Because I know that the Bulls haven't announced their side as of yet, but they normally do have a couple double-ups. When they've kind of gone Currie Cup, then URC type thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see him there for the Currie Cup and the URC teams. Although I think they've got a third option as well, don't they? I'm just going through to see the URC. Okay, it's actually Stormers versus Bulls. So an away game for the Bulls for this one, and that's going to be played in Cape Town. Nice one. And then also the Sharks are playing the Lions, and that game's going to be played at Kings Park Stadium. Now Western Province at the moment moving up to the halfway line here. One of the first attacks they are going to have, and they also get the penalty for it there. And they use Chris Smith for the URC, and I'm certain they'll have Mornay on the bench. Yeah, so I assume it's going to be you finish this game, you jump in some sort of bus or something, and you pretty much ship yourself off to Cape Town for that next matchup. How far away is Loftus, kind of that region, from Cape Town Stadium? If anyone does know, do let me know. I don't really know my South African geography. Though I'm going to be in Cape Town this weekend when the game is played. Says Munster Brain, so hopefully it is a pretty awesome one. And at Cape Town Stadium, fake grass. And as I said, Sakabula, is it so fake grass? I assume it's not AstroTurf though, is it? It's just a little bit, I guess, because that's the thing. And these days, as soon as you have a wet day and then you send the players out there, they just rip it apart. Unfortunately, and also we've got our Sharks ain't better. And there as well. Currently now going for the rolling maul here for the Western Province, 15 metres out. They could be the first team to score a try in this match, perhaps. It breaks off the back. Brilliant rolling maul. He goes over, and that is how you make a statement. They have had about 20 minutes of the Bulls just being on them. And now they have been able to do so and get themselves their first try of the match. We're going to have to edit this. And we're going to have the Bulls as not applicable. And we are going to go with the Western Province try scorers. And it's actually going to be the number 2 for the other side in the form of Kutsa, who was able to score it in the 18th minute. Done very nicely there for the Western Province. This rolling maul was phenomenal. Also, I think your data's wrong in there as well. So I assume that is this one that we are talking in this corner, but pretty much that is New Zealand time that it has taken place. So that is why it's a little bit weird for that one. It's AstroTurf. Oh, that stuff burns, doesn't it? Like, I've seen people play on those surfaces and you just get ripped apart. It does it. Yes, says Warren. Also, it says Andrew there. And I was in Armoni saying going to put a rope around the rugby ball in time onto the ball and then kick the ball to the Cape Town and fly to Cape Town. I'm sure you can kick that far. It's Mornay Stain after all. Yeah, been pretty awesome. And that's Korea. That one has actually just missed away to the side for Tim Swill. The score will remain at 5 points to the Western Province and 3 to the Bulls after 20 minutes. So doing nicely. At the end of the day, the Bulls, they'll be disappointed with that because they've turned down a few threes to try and get the 7, and the 7 has not quite rewarded them. It looks like a few of the reserves actually warming up. I assume they're not going to change what that was brilliantly done by, I believe it was David Krill. It's gone backwards, and the Bulls have got this one off their own kickoff, although it's getting stolen on the ground. It's a good bit of a battle going on, and someone's whacking someone's hand. It's going back for the penalty. And that is going to be the penalty to the Bulls. Loftus and Cape Town is about 1,600 kilometres apart. Geez, that's a wee way. So I guess you would fly for that one, wouldn't you? Rather than driving, because I know, that would be a long trip in a bus. That's for sure. You take a bus to the airport and then just fly way over. So that's a little bit quicker. But, I assume Mornay Stain, if they asked him, right, do you want to play in the next match? He'd just go, yeah. Go on then. I'll hop on the plane. And also, man, I'm tired of Swield's horrible kicking. And this is Munster Brandon also. It's like playing on rubber as well, says Sakabola. So, yeah, I mean, AstroTurf, it's all right to have an artificial, for a cricket pitch. I find that that's pretty decent to play on, but not for a rugby game. Even, for football as well, because of the fact that if you do a slide tackle, it just hurts. You see people's ankles and whatnot just getting shredded from just, it's too grippy almost. So you just you go down and you just get stuck and then you rip. They're only 5 meters out here for the Bulls. Continue to get a little bit closer around the side. This is going to be close to a try. I think it's going to be held up though, which will be goal line dropout. No, he's given it as a try. And that is going to be the answer back from the Bulls. There's a man underneath. Who was it? Who was able to get it? Who's going up? I think that's Robert Hunt, who has been able to get the try. I guess that's one way of doing it. Just fire straight back. I think that try of the Western Province was what they needed to really give them that kick in the backside that made them continue to drive their way forward. And it's going to be the penalty advantage. Not just that, they went straight over, scored themselves a try. And also, Mono Stain, the only fly half ever to win the game against British and Irish Lions twice in a row. I mean, he won that game in both series with that foot of his. Yeah, he's an insane, 1 in a million player, Mornay Stain. No one else has been able to do what he's done for British and Irish Lions tours. I remember playing as him on Rugby 2006 or 2008, one of those two. And he's still playing now. He's playing in this game, about to line up a kick. Now, I feel like because we've just pretty much hyped him up so much with his kicking, this kick's probably about 80% likely to miss, but hopefully he does get it over still. You fly about almost 3 hours to Cape Town, and then you're about 40 kilometres from the stadium, says Alfie. Oh, okay, so it's not a hugely long flight, I guess. It's kind of the equivalent of us going to Australia, but then 40 kilometres sounds like it would be all right. Mornay Stain, no, still got that one. Still got it, Mornay Stain, and that will be now 10-3. Yeah, I feel like I need to learn a little bit more about South Africa in terms of how to get everywhere, because it has been mentioned many times on the live streams. One day I should go to South Africa, and I'd love to be able to do a tour of all the rugby stadiums and watch a game at each, kind of travel around. I've been told that I've got to try biltong and also have a braai. Those are the two big ones. There was also something, what's the type of fruit that you guys have got that a lot of people sell? Is it on the side of the road? And it's kind of like a white berry type thing. I can't remember the name of it, but apparently those are quite nice. I might have to give that a try as well. But 22 meters out now. Keegan Johannes about to kick this one high. Let's get some good distance on it. Almost sounded like it clipped a finger, but it goes right down. Brilliant kick from Keegan Johannes. That's about as far of a kick as you can have. He made it to only 38 meters out from the line of the Western Province. Brilliant kick. And now has relieved all sorts of pressure and actually put more pressure on the Western Province to get this one right. And Monastein will be available again in 11 or 12 years. And there, where the British and Irish Lions, or when the British and Irish Lions tour is on, he'll still play deep in his 40s. I hope they even if it's just as a little bit of a, not really a piss take, but just put him in the squad. And then when they're about to win that final game, bring him on and let him kick it. Because no one's beating that. No one's beating 2 British and Irish Lions tours playing in them, in a row type thing for the 12 years difference. But if you make him kick in that one, that's 24 years worth of history that someone's going to try and break, and no one can do it. It's just not possible because no one's going to have that long of career, at these times. Everyone's getting quicker, everyone's getting stronger. Players are going to get worn down a little bit more. And watch a Pumas game in Elspeth. And Arizona, you must come visit me at the Kruger National Park. And there's else says Andrew. Sounds like a plan. They went, yep, Amish. And this is your demise. So, yeah, even if it's an extra guy, they're we're going to pick a 39 squad plus Mornay Stain, just so that he can be part of it. And if he's not part of it for kicking, I'd love to see him in 12 years' time part of the coaching staff of some sort, just to keep him involved in the history that is kind of that British and Irish Lions tour. I believe the next one's going to be in Australia, isn't it? 2027, which will be interesting to see how it goes. And then after that, us Kiwis, 2031, we will have them. Just actually 9 years' time, isn't it? So it's quite a wee way. 9 years, 7 years, might be 7 years. Or it's 9. Maths is hard. It's now going to be, it's less than that, isn't it? I think 2025, is when Australia have got them, and then we've got them 2029 by the dates. But that one, it's gone down to the front row again. That's been a common occurrence throughout this game so far. Neither side really able to assert their dominance at scrum time. There's actually been scrum penalties both ways, I believe. A tad bit of advantage going the way of the Western Province, but that's 3 scrum resets we have had already in the first 26 minutes, although we've had more tries in this game than we saw in the last match between the Sharks and the Requas, where the Sharks were able to get themselves the win. I'm sure Monty staying at 49 or something and still kick a ball easily if he stays fit and active. I look at the Rock at 49 or 50 now and still built like a rock and run like a youngster. And there as well, yeah, the Rock, he's in for tremendous shape as well. Now taking the quick tap. And Warren, in which camp are you? And that's his Sakabola now, Viridi, and a lot of pressure on him. He was playing for the Requas not too long ago, wasn't he? If I'm not wrong there. Now currently firing the ball back. It looks like Monastein going for that kicking game once again that he is so known for. Got a little bit too much on that one. It's going to be inside of the in-goal area. Has to take it. Sends it back across, and it looks like they're going to be kicking this one for the touchline. It's charged down. Massive mistake there from the Western Province. They've got the advantage, and it's a scrum 5 meters out. Why would he not put that ball down when he saw how much pressure was being put on him? And now they have just really put themselves in a little bit of a tricky situation. But De Jong, I think he might have been involved in trying to get that one out. How long did he take to kick it? Oh, in fact, it was Angelo Davids who decided to wait for a long time before trying to kick it from inside of his own in goal, putting that ball down, goal line dropout, no worries at all. But now it's a 5 meter scrum, and the Bulls have got this one straight in front of the posts. I think they go topside here. It looks really well set up. 2 men straight behind of the breakdown. Currently now 28 minutes in, and it is going to be yet again another scrum. Hopefully this one we get through without a scrum reset. Fingers crossed. And I do anti-poaching a lot on the concessions as I move around a lot. I spend a lot of time in Mala Mala and Loro Lozi. Hopefully I've said that correctly for that one. And also go boys, or go Bulls, go boys. Show them who you are as well. That one's going. An advantage now once again for the Bulls. Keegan Johannes goes back to Mornay Stain. It's dropped there by Stravino Jacobs, but it is going right back. Well, that initial penalty, they wanted to take the quick tap. Viridiam actually takes it. Then he gets wrestled down by, I believe it was Masimla. who is now almost ended up in a pushing contest, but he does go away quickly before anyone knows who it was. But 5 metres out now, the offside for the Bulls here. It's going to be a penalty and a yellow card, so now they're going to be down to 14 men. Hello, says Xavier. Welcome in, mate. Once again, you're up for the late night, 4:30 a.m., I believe, this time there in Australia. But I hope you are keeping well, mate. I hope you are excited for the future game, of course, for the Rebels, but also just in general. We've got Super Rugby. We've also got the Sevens side of things. Do you follow the Sevens for Australia, Xavier? Do let me know. And also, when talking about Sevens, it's very hard to brush past the Blitz box at the moment on a 34-match winning streak. Will be defending their throne. 6 competitions in a row they have been able to win, and they will be looking to do just that. Once again, round the side, that's a try for Keegan Johannes, and the pressure from the Bulls has led to, once again, another try for them there. It will go like this, and we will go like this. The Bulls try scorers, it's not just Hunt now, he's got a friend, and that friend is the form of Keegan Johannes, who has been able to score it in the 30th minute. Here we go. We'll add that to the bottom. Okay, they were offside. I think it's the comment by the referee. And also, thanks, bud. Says Andrew there's good work, Warren. Stay safe. And there's says Suckerballer. That one is gone now. Over the post, of course, for Mornay staying straight out in front. I love Sevens in there. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. The only sad thing about the Sevens is the fact that it overlaps with Super Rugby. But anytime it doesn't overlap, we are going to be covering the Sevens. And the whole second day, where we have the semi-finals, the quarterfinals, and the finals, they're all going to be without any overlaps, which does mean we are going to be able to cover them all on the channel. It's going to be awesome. And this young side of the Bulls looks promising. And as I says, your demise, yeah, they've got some good talent coming up through the rankings. And they're probably guys that you're going to see not just get an opportunity for the Vodacom Bulls in the URC, but also a little bit later on, who knows, maybe there's a couple of future Springboks. Keegan Johannes, the question I have is, has he ever been a Springbok? And if not, do you guys think that he could make his way into the Springboks at some stage? Because he seems to be one of the standout fly halves, the scrum halves that we do see kind of perform week after week. Johannes once again goes back across. Nice dummy from Hans, but he has got his ankle grabbed by the try scorer there, Kotza. No, he hasn't, says Warren, for that one. So yeah, I guess if he, because Faf de Klerk, they were talking about the fact that he is now heading to Japan, I believe. It's going to be the penalty. And I know that it seems to be quite tricky to be able to get your players from Japan for international-wise. And Bulls always has Springboks, and I don't think so, not anytime soon. And there, so who's the next up-and-coming Springboks scrum half? Do you think that could be good work from the Western Province? They've now got this ball out wide. It's going to be De Jong. Draw and pass out into the hands of Davids right next to the touchline. Now currently just keeping this ball alive. We haven't really seen too much of Sergio Peterson throughout the early stages of this game. So maybe they do try and go wide to him now. But now Masimla going first receiver. Taken very nicely. In fact, there's another young scrum half. Nahamba, no. Who's the guy that I'm thinking of who's quite close to getting that call up? Because I know at the moment they've got Kobus Reinach. Also, it is Yankees, and then also, of course, Faf de Klerk. So who do you think's that fourth choice at the moment for the South Africans? That ball's almost bouncing on the side of the Bulls. In fact, it is a little knock-on, and now the scrum feet will be going the way of the Bulls, but the Western Province, they'll be disappointed with that. Oh, yeah, Jaden Hendrickson, of course, is another option. I remember seeing him. It was in that game up against Argentina, wasn't it? How he got that real brutal-looking injury. How he just pretty much, as he kicked it, ended up getting twisted. But yeah, he looks pretty good as well. And also we have got there Zach Berger as another option. And also Madosh Tumbwe, Kurt Leorenza, and Heinrich Lowe. That's just a few future names that I named. You can name many more, I think, might be a Bok in there. And I know that Ifan Ruas is another one that everyone is saying is certainly going to be, like, it's more of the case of when. Because now that Dwayne Vermeulen is all but out of the Springbok picture, even though I think he's still going to be there for the next World Cup, after that, you're probably looking at maybe another young guy. The Dupré brothers have been pretty unlucky in recent times. I know that they were selected for the Rugby Championship. I don't think they got a single minute, did they? Either of them. So they just went back to the Sale Sharks as if nothing happened. And Faf Ronak Yankees needs to get his act together. Says Suckerballer there, and Zach Berger is looking good, says Andrew, and also your demise. has said about Ifan Ruas. And is that score correct? Says Sakabula. That will depend. Does it say 17? Yes, it is. That is the right score for this one. And I'll say Ifan Ruas should start ahead of Dwayne, to be honest. Yeah, I think like the aggression that you see from Ifan Ruas, the passion that he shows, like I think they're picking Dwayne due to that experience and also, I guess, just from being so loyal to the Springboks for so long. You know, sometimes the older player with that name gets that value ahead of the young guy, but I would have at least loved to see Ifan Ruas in the squad, because if it's anything like the Duprea brothers, he probably wouldn't have gone into play anyway, because they just got them over there probably more as a training camp than anything. But even just getting into that Bok environment does wonders for a young guy, and it just kind of shows them, you know, you keep on working hard, you keep on driving and pushing yourself. That's going to be you out on the field playing up against the British and Irish Lions, the All Blacks, the Wallabies, the Pumas. And I'll say Ifan Ruas and Heinrich Lowe, I will play the next British and Irish tour, mark my words. And there's his demise, and he is hungry, says Andrew. For that one, as Ifan Ruas means business. He ain't playing. Yeah, he's just an angry man. But like, he's angry because he wants to be the best. You know, he's not like an aggressive guy because he wants to really hurt people. He only wants to just pretty much brutalize them out on the field. We're missing him. He is something special. And I can't wait to see Peter Steph-Toy starting again. He's getting closer, isn't he, from his injury? It feels like ages since we saw him. And I saw that RG Snyman, he had just come back from an injury and sadly ended up with another season-ending injury. Oh, that's nicely done down the wing. If this ball pulls up, no, it doesn't. Just goes a tad too far. And young Angelo David's unable to get that ball down on the 22, and they're going back for the initial scrum here from where he kicked it from. But yeah, RG Snyman, he got so close. He was back for Munster, and then I think it was his first or second game, something gave out. I think it was his Achilles or something, lower leg, and now he's out for like 9 more months. And you got to feel for him because he's a beast when he's fit. And when he's not fit, I just feel like all he wants to do is get back out there and give it another go. But I do see Damien Dialende has ended his contract with Munster. So if you guys got to choose, where would you like to see Damien Dialende end up? Which South African side, if he goes back to South Africa, would you like to say? Maybe it was playing up against these guys in South Africa for Munster that he was like, you know what? Maybe I miss South Africa rugby too much to not end up getting another opportunity, but more than likely he probably goes to like Japan or France, I think, if the big money's there. And also we have got there Shane Springbok coach Peter de Villiers, wife drowned last weekend. Condolences to the family. Yeah, that's not good at all there. Peter de Villiers, ex-Springbok coach. Was he also a Springbok for himself? Sakabola did let me know. And also Ifan Ruas, already the best in the URC, in my opinion. There's your demise. Yeah, he's a beast. Like, he was one of the standouts for the Currie Cup as well last year. Charge down. That's the second charge down. It's cleaned up a cheer. Luckily, it wasn't one with a cameraman on it. I don't want him at the Sharks. Happy with Janssen van Rensburg coming across, says Andrew. And also thanks for sharing Sakabola blessings to them for sure. And also on Sky Sports and UK action for people to watch in the UK is great. And I also believe in South Africa it's on DSTV or Supersport. I always say or, but I think they're the same thing, aren't they? If I'm not wrong. And also Hannes has said, Morné Steyn shows us why he is a Bok because he's the best. Came all the way from the Blue Bulls and watched Leon Mapo. He comes through Havingly, and there's Havley. And there says Hannes, yeah. Like, that's the thing. He's been around for so long and just has continued to grow his game. Like, normally, like some players, you can get complacent. He has never been that guy. He's always looked at new ways of improving as he slowed down with age, even though he's not slow by any means of the words. His kicking got more strategic, and he just kept on finding ways of keeping himself in the hunt for that starting lineup. He's actually dragged down only 2 meters out. David's here for the Western Province, and now going to be passing across to the right-hand side. Tim Swiel, wide pass. Nicely taken by Morabe. And close up, Bismarck du Plessis trying to get the turnover. Has he done it? No, he's lost his footing there, and it's a penalty there to the Western Province at RFB. Says Andrew there as well. But Bismarck, he was working hard in the breakdown, but then the body weight just ended up going down. Quick tap taken, and it's going to be Marcel Tennyson scores the try for the Western Province. Nicely done. They decided that they might as well take it quickly. There was a gap there, and Tennyson scores. And now they have been able to get themselves just a little bit further back into this game. Tennyson, this is a hard one to spell. There we go. And that is in the 39th minute. So right before halftime, they do fire back. And Marcel Tennyson, his second Carling Currie Cup try. And now they are going to be sitting there on 12 points with that nice easy kick for David Kriel. Oh, sorry, not David Kriel, for Tim Swell, straight out in front. Those two actually rhyme. And also, we've got the rumours of our salary cap in South Africa unions being increased. So we should see more South Africa players returning. I hope it is the case because, like, I think at the moment they've got that perfect mix of pretty much those young guys coming up through the rankings plus a few veterans. But to add a couple more of those overseas star quality players back in South Africa, I feel like it's a real good drawing card to get more people watching the South African competitions, because that's the thing. Like the Currie Cup, like I doubt too many other Kiwis are up at 6 a.m. watching this game of rugby, but I wish that they were, because it's always entertaining. Like we did the Currie Cup and the URC, or at least Currie Cup last year, I should say, and we did pretty much every round, and I absolutely loved it. Like every time you saw something different, this is a nice bit of draw and pass. Trevino Jacobs now inside ball, and it's going to be knocked on there against the Bulls. Mornay Stain trying to chase down the big tight head prop. Tim Swell now looking for the kick downfield, wants the 50-22. There is so much space back there. It's just whether or not the ball bounces the way that he needs it to. No, it's going to sit up only 5 meters out. It sits up beautifully, in fact, for David Kriel to now run it back out to the 22. He tries to take the contact. It's huge contact on him. 25 meters out, and it's a penalty to the Western Province. So once again, you'd have to argue maybe kicking the ball back would have been the better option. And come on, Province. And yeah, as I says, Andrew, currently it looks like they're trying to take momentum straight back in this game. We're up to 40 minutes. Nabakaba, he looks like he's a bit puffed. And Tim Swell, they are going to be taking on the shot now. He needs this one to go over. Or is he? Yeah, I think he is waiting for the tee, but with a great low tackle in the end. I believe it might have been Tennyson, the try scorer. Oh, no, in fact, it was the number 4 for them, Ben Jason Dixon. And Province winning will be a good for my Sharks team, says Andrew there, yeah. Because at the moment, I believe the Sharks, they are sitting in 3rd, aren't they? The Bulls in 2nd. Western Province, whereabouts are they at the moment? I will quickly get up the table. Come on, Bulls. I keep the foot on the grass. Or, sorry, foot on the gas. And there, as I said, suck a ball a bit now. Tim Swell lines up this kick. This will be the final play of the first half. Just sneaks it in. And that will now make the score 15 points to 17 going into the second half. It's going to be a close game by the looks of it. And already we have had more tries and more points in this first half than we saw in the last game between the Sharks and the Requas. But currently on the table, yeah, Western Province actually sitting right down in 6th. That surprises me just a little bit. But I guess teams do need to be near the bottom, just kind of the way that it works out. Their points differential is actually not too bad, though, minus 57, compared to the Lions, who have their points differential of minus 214. And that's from 7 games. So that's not exactly great, unfortunately, for them. How are they doing in the URC, though? I think they're not too bad in the URC currently. Although not too bad does not also mean good. And Aussie think Landers can get the bonus point tomorrow night, Hamish. It's tricky. I think Moana Pacifica, they've got a mixed bag of their lineup. They seem to have saved quite a few players for their next game. So I think if they don't get the bonus point, they'll be very close. But it should be the first win for the Highlanders of the competition. So hopefully they do have a good game. Or else if they lose that one, then they're definitely well and truly out of finals contention. Right, the Lions are sitting 12th at the moment. So the teams below them, Zebra, Dragons, Cardiff, and Benetton. And then the Lions, although, to be fair to the Lions, if they win their game this weekend, theoretically, they can actually bump themselves right up into 9th. So they're not a huge way off. They're just a little bit behind for the current stage. But the Bulls, the Sharks, and the Stormers all making their way into the top 8 at the moment for the URC. Playing in South Africa has certainly changed the momentum, which is absolutely awesome to see that they have been able to fight back the way that they are. Leinster at the top. They're actually 10 points clear at the moment of Ulster in 2nd. And then Glasgow slotting in there at 3rd with Munster and Edinburgh. Two sides who are following alongside that, but they are just showing the 7 series coming up very soon. Singapore 7s, and we are going to be covering that onto the channel as well. So anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, because we have got plenty more of not just rugby union, but also rugby sevens and all sorts coming up on the channel, including some cricket as well. We're actually doing the South Africa versus Bangladesh, some of that test match. For anyone who is a little bit of a cricket fan, Connacht, they play Leinster in the URC, I do know, and Ulster, they play Toulouse, which is going to be a couple big games. But the URC this weekend, we have got just the 3 games that are taking place: Stormers versus Bulls, Sharks versus Lions, and then Cardiff versus the Scarlets. Those 2 games overlap, though, for Scarlets and Cardiff and Sharks and Lions. So hopefully we do get to cover those 2 games, although I'm not too sure what's happening on the Champions Cup side of things for that one. In Province cannot cry tonight. What a shame. Province. So close, but still so far. And also we have got the Hamish. I know it's still a year and a half before the World Cup. But do you think, or who do you think will be the top 4 teams? I think South Africa, New Zealand, France, and England. I don't think the Irish will make it. And yeah, the Irish, they're going to be unlucky if they don't get through. But then saying that, that kind of sums up their World Cups in the past. Sadly, they're always so close yet so far away. And I think SA, New Zealand, and France, I think they're definitely there. England, for me, is probably the one that could be a bit 50-50, depending on who we see in their side. And also we have got there, I wonder what Hamish honest and real opinion is about South African rugby. Keita, Hamish, you must be 100% honest whether you like us or not. I will respect your opinion. So I guess it's as in like from a New Zealand point of view, or because I know that my opinion is definitely different to a few other people's, but I love South African rugby. Like ever since I started watching it for the Rainbow Cup, like it was literally that recent. The Rainbow Cup happened, and I was like, I'm gonna give it a look, because I hadn't been watching it probably since like some of those earlier Super Rugby years. So I was like, I want to give it another look, see what it's like, and it was just absolutely incredible. Like I just fell in love with it straight away, and then we covered so much of the Rainbow Cup, the Currie Cup. I even deep dive straight into like the lower levels that I could find as well. So the Currie Cup, I was watching at the URC. I do watch every single South African game, and they're all available here in New Zealand, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, I love the fact that the schoolboy rugby really feeds the kind of these competitions, and then you see those guys make it to the box in a few years' time. And yeah, they're just coming up through the rankings. And people don't like us for some reason. There sees your demise. Yeah, I know that the popular opinion, or not really popular for myself, but like a lot of people do say that it's kind of I think it's the rivalry kind of side of things. Like I don't mind South Africa at all, but some people really like want them to lose, and I don't understand why. But it could come down to like, to be the best, you got to beat the best. And also when you're at the top of the table, or at the top of the kind of the spectrum, like everyone's looking up at you going, I want to be that guy. So when you're South Africa here, like other sides looking up, and all they have to do, like eventually they're going to get a sore neck, because South Africa are sky high at the moment. And it's just one of those ones that you got to try and pretty much like just block it out, I guess you could say, because at the end of the day, you're way up above them and you're just continuing to fly. And also, you must watch our Varsity Cup. You will enjoy it. And there's us, is Andrew, and also it's the first move towards pro/semi-pro rugby, a really exciting hard rugger. And there's his Andrew. Do you guys have it on YouTube? Out of any curiosity there? Because I know that there's a Springboks YouTube channel. So is it on there, or is it going to be kind of just through subscription? Because I know that in New Zealand, we do get URC and Currie Cup, but I don't believe we get any other South African rugby aside from them. But the Varsity Cup, I've heard good things about it. And also we do. And there's us, as Andrew, and also we got there really good. And also we like South Africa, Ireland. And as I agree, anybody but England says sucker bully. Yeah, that seems to be the common occurrence, doesn't it? That it's pretty much anyone can win things, but we don't want England to. It seems to be like a global agreement overall. Like people from the other Six Nations countries don't seem to want England to win. Southern Hemisphere, Australia seem to not want England to win. South Africa don't want England to win. Don't know what Argentina's feelings are, but I assume they're pretty similar if everyone else has told them that they don't want to. And I enjoy the Irish. Yeah, the Irish, for me, have got a very good side at the moment, and they've got a good kind of combo of physical forwards and fast-paced backs, similar to what we see from South Africa at the moment. And I'm looking forward to seeing those two play each other. I don't think we get to see it anytime soon, but at the end of the day, like the World Cup's just around the corner. I know it's still like 500 days away or something along those lines, but it's going to be here before we know it. Like currently, where is it? There it is, 519 days till we get to see New Zealand taking on France as the opening fixture of the World Cup, and never in there as well says Fleshin for that one. And I believe that is for never let England win, possibly, or that one. But the table's currently so New Zealand, France, Italy, Uruguay, and Africa won a pool A. We actually get to see Ireland versus South Africa at the World Cup, and then also Scotland in that group. That's going to be a tough group because you're possibly looking at Ireland and Scotland jockeying for that second. I'm pretty confident South Africa will get through, but then if New Zealand don't finish top of their pool, they will have to go up against South Africa in the next stage in the quarterfinal, which would be kind of sucky because I know a lot of people want to see that as possibly the semi/final. And also we're trying to build towards a future. And there's us, Greg, and thanks, Greg, no problem. And also, I know I meant the rugby and people in general, hard buggers that like their alcohol in there, says Andrew. And also, I enjoy the Irish for earlier on. Speaking of Scotland, a legend has died, says Greg. Go away one moment. I will have to go back. I think I should see something just a little bit earlier on, didn't I? Tom Smith, ex-Lions in Scotland and coached other teams, died, says Greg. Go away. So that's not good news. That seems to be, like lately, there's been so many passings of famous sports athletes. And it just seems like it's like a really unlucky time at the moment that there's been so many in such a short stint. As I'm very similar to us, and also can't wait for the All Blacks to extract some revenge for that semi-final against England in the World Cup. And Alliance posted it true. And there says Gregor. Yeah, so Pool C has got Australia, Wales, Fiji, and I believe Georgia are in there again. So that's pretty much the same group as we've seen throughout other years. And then it's England, Argentina. So that will tell us what they think of England in that World Cup game. And then also Japan, Samoa, and Americas too for that one. But there's still a little bit of time before we get to the World Cup. Still a few qualifying matches for these sides to be able to try and make their way through. Currently, the second half must not be too far away. I feel like we've had a little bit of just a chat in general about rugby and just like certain sides. I actually quite enjoyed it. It's gone so quickly from waiting for it to start up. And there we go. We all go like that. And currently now, it is going to be possibly a very close second half in this matchup, because at the end of the day, when we're sitting here currently at 15 points to 17, the Bulls have scored a couple of tries. The Western Province, that has scored a couple of tries alongside that. There's actually a Women's World Cup coming up soon as well, isn't there? Women's Rugby World Cup, that is going to be in October in 184 days' time. We will get to see that. I wonder who South Africa's first game of the World Cup is. Is it Ireland? I'm going to have a look. No, it's not. First game for South Africa, or it's Scotland, as on the 11th of September 2003 for when that one is going to be taking place. But I can't wait for it. Like, it was so long ago that I actually looked at it. I think it was like 900 days till the World Cup, and now it's here in 500 days. It's going to be here sooner, though. Not literally, but it will feel quicker for that one. And also Wales that just bumble along into the World Cup with loads of injuries, managed to get to the semi and close and go out in the close game. Yeah, it's very unfortunate for Wales. I'm hoping, like, that's the thing. They've got 500 days to really find their feet, because you'd have to say at the moment they're in a slightly tricky predicament. 2003, you just said 2003. Oh, sorry, 2023 for that one. Just a little bit in the past, don't I? Who won the World Cup in 2003? Anyone know? England. England, in fact. No one will want to remember that one, will they? England up against Australia in the final. Johnny Wilkinson, I know, became Australia's worst nightmare in that game. But Keegan Johannes from the 22. Second half has kicked off here. And it is going to be kicked off high. Taken nicely by Sergio Peterson. Tackled in the air. That could be a yellow card here. Nope. They want to take the quick tap, but very nicely done by Sergio Peterson. Actually, the first time we've seen him touch the ball throughout this game almost, but he looks like he's limping back to his mark. Got one, and almost, that looked like a little bit above the tailbone there, so probably on the lower spine, which is never nice to have rattled when you come down on it hard, but currently 22 metres out now for the Western Province. They are going to have a line out here. But he went up and he was tackled hard. I believe it was David Creel who just didn't really know what to do when he saw a flying Sergio Peterson flying straight at him. He pretty much couldn't go anywhere, but still need to try and make the guy land safely. Playing the man in the air is the penalty against them. 2 tries currently for both of these sides. I believe in the Currie Cup it is 4 tries and you get the bonus point. So what both of these sides will be after. That is not straight in the throw. And now the Bulls are going to have themselves the free kick, which they are going to be taking on the scrum. So the big question is, when do sides start to look towards their benches as well for this one? One moment, we will go like that. These are the benches that the 2 sides have got. Who do you feel, ladies and gentlemen, can have the biggest impact coming off the bench for these 2 sides? For me, it's probably... I'm going to go Cade Volhutter for the Western Province. I feel like him at fly half is tremendous. I saw him a while ago. I think he was playing for the Stormers, and he got injured in one of the very first games that I saw him. And I said before he got injured, this guy looks like the real deal. That was actually the first time I had seen him. And ever since his injury, I was waiting for that man to return. And now that he is back, hopefully he can have a good impact coming off the bench for this game. Then for me, also Richard Creel as another player, and Nkuboka inside of a scrum, I feel could also get a little bit of damage going. Now Janssen van Veren kicks it downfield. A little bit of a yawn. We're currently sitting at 7 a.m. here in New Zealand. I have not slept, and I will not be sleeping, I don't believe, until I think about 11 p.m. tonight. So we've got another 16 hours that we are going to be up for, but I will be doing all of my editing and everything, getting ready for the weekend. Little knock on there from the Western Province, and the Bulls now will have themselves another scrum feeder. And if Ireland can win the upcoming series in New Zealand, then I can believe they will do well, or then I will believe they can do well in the World Cup. Yeah, because it's away from home, isn't it? That is certainly going to be the testing factor. That's why France are the favourites as well, not just because they're playing some of the best rugby they ever have at the moment, but also home field in France is just huge. Like, Ireland got close in the Six Nations, but just didn't quite get over the line for that one. But yeah, France, it's going to be a good one. They have got the potential of being able to top New Zealand in that pool A, and I think that's going to be the worrying factor, because if South Africa finish first, New Zealand finish second in the pools, that is, we play them in the quarterfinal. That's not good. No one wants to play South Africa or New Zealand in the quarterfinal, and they might be playing each other. So that's going to be one massive nation knocked out early. And then the thing is, though, for me, if we got knocked out by South Africa in the quarterfinal, I would still I'm still going to support South Africa. I know a lot of Kiwis will be like, we want anyone but the team that knock us out to win, which is why so many Kiwis got behind, funny enough, South Africa in the 2019 World Cup. Although that might have just been also because it was England, which seems to, there's a bit of a running trend, isn't there? Anytime it's England, everyone's like, anyone but, even if it was like, who you got? Maybe Samoa. Samoa actually probably get a bit of support. But yeah, Samoa versus England in a World Cup final, everyone's going Samoa. Like, even anyone in Europe's going Samoa to win that one, other than England. Anyone but England. Currently now, nice feed, and Samoa are actually in the World Cup. So who knows, maybe it could happen. It's going to be the advantage now for the Bulls. Send him 40 metres out. He's asked for the penalty. Ken Johannes, I don't know whether he realised he already had the penalty, because he kind of just wasted that opportunity. And also the last time the World Cup was in France, they lost their first game against Argentina. Although what year was that? Out of curiosity. I know that since that game, or since then, they've come a long way. And I just hope that they don't peak too early, because for it to be an awesome World Cup, you want to see the home crowd getting behind their side. And if they can make it through to the semi-finals or the final, that's going to be absolutely huge. But the thing is, I've just realized when I did the actual thinking about it, it's either going to be New Zealand versus South Africa or New Zealand versus Ireland in the quarterfinals. Then from there, it's either going to be South Africa for their quarterfinals up against either New Zealand or France. France versus South Africa is a game that I don't think we've seen in a little while, that I wouldn't mind getting to see it again, just to see kind of where everyone is sitting for it. But it's going to be a good one. that is the case. Big contact there on Robert Hunt, but he gets dragged down nicely. Now with another attack and run here, it was actually WJ Stenkamp. Let's try and creep just a little bit closer, going back into the pocket to Mornay Stain. Free Am now puts in the kick behind. It's a little bit slow from he's done extremely well there for Davids. He pretty much had to jump on that ball straight away. Bismarck du Plessis got the turnover, and the Bulls have got this one back. That's playing the halfback. It's going to be the advantage now. Robert Hunt getting wrestled sideways by big number 8 Morabi. And also I will support Rush before I support England. So suck a ball there, and that was in 2007. So yeah, I think French rugby's come a long way since. That's the thing. 2007 for me, I don't know whether or not I'm the same as this, same as everyone else, but 2007 doesn't seem that long ago. Like, I remember playing Rugby 06 and Rugby 08 like it was only maybe 10 years ago. It's actually it's 15 years since 2007. Yet it seems so recent overall. And the funny thing is, I'm still only relatively young, I'd like to say. So, the fact that it still feels like it wasn't that long ago, maybe when I get to 30 or 40, it might seem like a little bit further. I will support Jacob before I support England. And as well, that one, it is going to be just a little bit of closing the gap from the Western Province. But the Bulls, they are only going to be 5 meters out here. Line it up, own line outs 1. They have been able to win 5. Now make that 6. It's a little bit juggly though, and I believe another cover comes straight through from the side that he was supposed to, and he's been able to shut that. Never mind, he was in from the side, they have said. There's Mark du Plessis back across to Keegan Johannes. Now it's going to be Hans. He's got this ball 10 meters out from the line here. The Bulls are looking ruthless on attack, trying to build their way straight through and bulldoze their way over. That's going to be another advantage. This could be close to a yellow card, possibly for the Province. There's Mark du Plessis, quick hands. Now at the back line, close to the touchline. Beautiful offload, and it's going to be the try for Creel. And he does get it right in the corner. David Creel scores it. Okay, they're checking this one for maybe a full pass from Bismarck du Plessis. But it might have been David Creel was able to score it in the 48th if it is all going to be all right for them as well. Right, double blow of the whistle. I'm going to put it up, but it might have to go away again, depending on what they end up deciding. And also we have got there, Hamish, you make me feel old. And there's Ase Sakabula. How old are you? Out of curiosity, I feel like you've probably mentioned it before, but I have so many ages that people have told me that they are, and I always get them muddled. You're about, no. Are you 32? No, it might not be you who's 32. Who's 32? Someone's 32. I think Robert's 32. I was like, come on, Bulls. And as I said, Sakabola. Currently now just going upstairs for the TMO. See whether or not this is going to be a legal try, or whether they're going to have another disallowed one. They already had the one earlier of Bismarck du Plessis. Probably don't want another one, I wouldn't think. Okay, they're just waiting at the moment. Okay, so they're checking, I believe, for a little maybe knock on the ground, is it? Okay, so Hans goes down. Then from there, oh no, it's actually, I think they want Bismarck du Plessis one. And always Bismarck doing something wrong. It is, unfortunately. He's quite good at it. Right. Okay, they're looking for something off the ball. That didn't look like anything for that one. So they're saying maybe it was a little bit earlier, but they must have something in mind. And Sakabula is 59. And there's Elsie's your demise. Is that right? I feel like that's the thing. You're only as old really as you feel. I know that the saying kind of sounds cheesy, but age is just really a number. It's just what you write down if someone's like, how old are you, or when's your date of birth. There's 80-year-olds doing gymnastics and whatnot. True fact. And also, I wish I was still 32 and there's Sakabula in there. See, that's the thing. I'm 22, but I'm so immature at times that I'm probably I can go from being a 25-year-old for maturity straight to 10 instantly. If anyone makes a funny noise or something, I just crack up. Achilles, there's a Sakabula. Right, what are we checking for? Okay, they think they've found it. Sorry, but if you're going to look for it for this long, Is it really worth looking at? Like, what are we looking at? Like, the fact that the TMO was like, I think we've found it. Like, I don't think they actually know what they're looking for. TMO, again, cannot believe it. Yeah, it seems like they're just looking for some reason to... There is something, but it happens out of shot. Right. Try stands, get on with it. Okay, something happened off the screen. We don't have any clear evidence of it. Oh. Okay, so another cover has said that there was a clear punch thrown for that one, but they can't find an angle. Okay, so it's going to be a try. That one also, Suckable is 79. And as Alcie's got demise. So, yeah, they didn't have an angle of the line out to see whether or not there was actually a punch involved in that one. This kind of like 80s and 90s rugby tactics, isn't it? I interviewed an ex-All Black, Norm Maxwell, and like he did say about the fact that when he came into the side at kind of younger schoolboy or just out of schoolboy level, like kind of the senior team, he was told when he joined the side, you're the designated puncher. So anytime there was a scrum, his job was to reach his long arms, because he was a tall man, reach his long arms through and punch the opposition hooker in the face. That was his job. And then like they'd stand up in the front row, and it's all done from intimidation. But yeah, how times have changed. And that one under these TMO is the worst. And morning, Hamish, good morning start. A good early morning start, not too early. Maybe mum and dad are awake. And there's his Danny Lewis, 7:07. I think one of them might just about be getting up for work. And Hamish is 22, but his maturity is 30s, which is good. And there's your demise. Yeah, it can be mature at times, and then other times I can go real childish real quick. You know, like you put George next to me, my maturity levels do go down by drastic measures. Currently now, it's going to be the big number 8 running forward. Come on, just give the try. And there's yeah. So they have ended up awarding it in the end, but it did take an extra like 3 or 4 minutes than they would have needed. Now Sergio Peterson selling a dummy, beautiful run forward, and now down the wing here. Going to be Angelo Davids. He's been shut out of this game relatively well by the Bulls, but now really starting to find a couple more touches on the football, or on the ball, I should say. Now going back across. Ozzy, you didn't stay up all night, did you? Yeah, I did. So, not quite. So I slept during the day yesterday because I did that late night Pakistan-Australia live stream. Sergio Peterson going wide. Ball on the inside. We will come back to that in a very short moment, but for now, it's a very good attack. Starting to form here for the Western Province. Masimla passes it back across. Tim Sveel now. They need this quick recycle ball. De Jong. Good carry. Now 15 metres out. Masimla once again fires it back to the left-hand side. Not able to find the offload. Was one of the big forwards. If they can get themselves over the try line here, they get themselves just a little bit closer to a victory or a bonus point here for this one. Now around the side. 8 phases in here for the province. Good run forward there from Marabi. Extra couple meters gained. Now the bigger forwards trying to slow and methodically work their way forward here. Side nicely done by Suzzy Sandi there. Another carry, no hands is called from the referee. Around the side, good defense from the Bulls, though, so far, not really allowing them to gain too many meters. Oh, it's a little knock on, was it? No, it went backwards, they have said. Still available. Bismarck almost giving away the penalty. Good inside ball from Tim Sweel, and it's the try. And it's going to be none other than Cornell Smith, who was able to score that one now. And we will add him to the try scorers list. This is going to be a long list for this match, but Smith was able to score the try. And at the 52nd minute, this game gets a little bit closer. And this is looking like it's going to be the game of the round at this point in time. Already with still 30 minutes or so left for this one. And that was a beautiful inside ball from Tim Sweel. Straight into the hands of Smith. Dives over. Scores the try, and they get back into it. They're just looking for something, it seems, the TMO. Try to find something wrong with the Blue Bulls. Time to look at Province too. And there says Alfie, and also at 6 there. Flew. I'm booked off sick from work until further notice. Says your demise. So yeah, make sure you rest up. Because I guess that's the thing. As much as, I was about to say sleep is the best medicine, but they do say laughter is the best medicine, isn't it? And kind of, I don't know where that came from. like where someone was like, right, laughing will make you feel a lot better. I think that's for when you're not actually sick, though, when you're just like kind of sad. That's gone over. Good kick from Tim Swell, and now 22 points to 24. And that's one. But yeah, I did end up pretty much going to sleep at about 11 or 10 a.m. yesterday. Then from there, I woke up at about maybe 9 p.m. last night. Then I've stayed up till now, so that's 10 hours in. And then I believe the time that I'm going to sleep is going to be tonight. So I've probably got about a 28-hour day, something around there. But after that, we're going to sleep for tomorrow, get caught up, and then the weekend's here. We got more rugby. I'm playing like a pro on Rugby Challenge 3. We won Western Province at Loftus first game 26-7. They won them 15-12 second game. Then won them 28-14 in the semi-finals. Tell you what, dominating them this stage of the competition. Although the Western Province, maybe they can take a leaf out of your book. They'll have to combine a couple of your scores, though, to be able to get that one. It's going close to the touchline. Just keeps it in the field of play for Stravino Jacobs. I think a lot of people thought that one was going out for the 50-22. And Hamish thinks I'll arrest yes. And there it says it was your demise. But currently now, sitting only 20 metres out from their own line there, the Bulls, it was almost that 50-22 that could have changed the momentum once again in this game. Yeah, maybe this game, I mean, you're probably looking at 20. Oh, no, you can't have 28-26. I was going to say just taking a combo of those two. It seems like both sides are going to be split by only like a couple points. And laughing in your sleep is probably the best medicine, says Suckerbuller. I like the way you're thinking. You will wake up laughing. I feel like I've never woken up laughing in my life, but I've been told that I sometimes do some sleep commentary. As my mum was like, Hamish, who are you on the phone with at 6 a.m.? And I was like, no one. I don't normally take phone calls at 6 a.m. And she was like, but you were like talking about something. You were talking about rugby to someone. And I was like, I had a dream that I was rugby commentating, so that could have been it. So I commentated a game in my sleep. So future idea, if I get too tired for a late night live stream, I'll just go to sleep and I'll just commentate it from there. Just won't be able to read the chat because my eyes will be closed. Currently driving forward once again here. De Jong with a good carry forward. At the moment, the Western Province, they've had more of the position in the last kind of 5 to 10 minutes or so of this half now. Nice wide cutout pass. Tennyson got a run forward. He has been playing extremely well. Also got himself a try earlier on. Bismarck Duplessis, good clean out on him around the side. King Johannes, they say that it's out the back and it's going to be stolen by the Bulls. Good ruthlessness from the halfback. Now fire back into the pocket. Mornay Stain kicks it down the field. And also we've got there, maybe you should record the sleep commentary. And this is Danny Lewis. Although from what I've heard, it's only happened the one time. But like it must have been, I guess, put together enough that she thought I was on the phone with someone, like telling them about a game of rugby that had happened. So I guess I was somehow making sentences because you know how sometimes, like if you sleep talk, you're like, shoes and you just make like weird noises. But that was like, I was actually full on chatting about the game. That was a cheeky offload there for the Western Province, and it's worked out quite nicely. That was a forward pass though on the halfway line. And they're going to have to go back, and I'll imagine seeing Hamish in the sleep commentating as well. Says yeah. It'd be a weird one, wouldn't it? Like, because you just get used to, I guess, sleeping, but you'd actually just be like, the thing is, I'm not so impressed for the side of the commentary. I'm more impressed with the fact that I was somehow able to put together a game in my head while sleeping. Because normally, like your dreams, you know how like you'd have something happening, and then like a giant candy cane smacks something, or like something random happens. Whereas that must have been a well enough described rugby game in my brain that I could actually talk over it. And also I put a GoPro in the room would be interesting. There's Danny Lewis. Yeah, I mean, as long as I'm talking about rugby and not actually trying to play rugby in my sleep, I think I'll be all right. Because as soon as I start getting up and trying to run through a wall, that's the time that you have to start padding those kind of walls and everything. Make sure you don't end up hurting yourself. But speaking of hurting yourself, Tennyson's got a bit of a blood nose up on top. I think he might have split the bridge. So because of that, he is going to be a little bit of attention. And for him, coming onto the field now, it is Bobby Alexander. In fact, no, that's a lie. It's Jared Taylor, who does now get the opportunity to do a thesis on Germany during World War II in uni. I woke up speaking German a couple of times, even though I don't speak German. Says Suckerbuller. Well, there you go. I mean, that's the thing. I feel like dreams, as weird as they are, surely they can teach you something. It might not be German or it might not be rugby commentary, but surely there's something in there. You know, why do they happen is probably a better question. Like, what makes your brain go like, oh, yeah, you're sleeping, I'm bored. It's probably your brain getting bored. Your brain's probably like, oh, this guy's not thinking of anything. Let's just put random pictures. Like, your brain's just decided with its mates. It's like, oi, let's just play a prank on this guy and put random things in his head. Now, Verity trying to make his way straight through. It's a good run. Ford not really able to stop him, but now for the Western Province, it's going back for the initial penalty. And my mum was diagnosed with something, sleep. Something she talks in her sleep every night, whole night. She can't sit for long. Then she falls asleep. The stuff she talks, her sleep is funny. And there's his your demise. That one. So I guess talking the whole night would be hard work. Like, I know I talk during the day for the commentary, but I noticed that day in particular, like, my throat was very sore for not just doing the commentary, but also doing sleep commentary as well. It was hard work. And also, hi, says Amelia, welcome in. Early morning start for yourself, I guess. Are you on your way to, is it on your way to work in the early stages of the morning? Currently 58 minutes through. I would rather be a sleep talker than a sleepwalker. Waking up George while sleepwalking must be scary. Yeah. Even just, I guess, waking up George in general when he's not sleepwalking would be a scary enough kind of thing. But Martin Zima taken off the field for Unkaboka, and he was one that I said would be so important in the later stages due to the scrums of this match. But now going back across, good run forward for David Creel. He did score a try just before and also just woke up to get ready for my apprenticeship. So yeah, very early morning start for yourself. It's currently, must be 5:15, isn't it, Amelia, at the moment? I know that daylight savings confused me a bit for some places in Australia and just in the world, really. Because what time is it in South Africa at the moment? Guys, do let me know. Are you guys sitting at, it must be about 8:17 p.m., is it? Somewhere around there. Viridian, close to the try line, step on the inside. The Bulls clinical in the finish, and David Creel scores his second now. And it was James Viridian. He's looking very strong for them at the moment, always creating the line break. That then leads to David Creel being able to score himself his second try of the match now. And that is in the 59th minute. So he's actually scored 2 tries only about 10 minutes apart, which is even that much more impressive from there. And also it is, it's like 5:15 a.m. over here in Australia. And also it's currently, it's actually 9:17. Okay, so you guys are now 10 hours behind us with my daylight saving recently taking place. Whereas beforehand, I think you guys were 11. Okay, so that works. Do you guys in South Africa have daylight saving? Out of curiosity, I'm terrible with time zones and also like everything along those lines. So do let me know. And Hamish, do you think I should wake up the sleepwalker? Reminds me of the movie Step Brothers. See, that's the thing. I don't know the reason behind why you shouldn't wake them. In fact, while Morno Stain's about to line this up, I'm going to look it up. Why shouldn't you wake asleep? There we go. It's one of the most commonly, if awoken a sleepwalker at any age isn't in danger of losing their soul or suffering brain damage. However, waking them up could trigger a stress response with unintended consequences for either you or the sleepwalker. Okay. So I guess it's more along the lines of they say that you shouldn't wake them up because they might be distressed of the fact that they're kind of in a random place of the house type thing. So they're more worried about how they got there. No daylight savings in South Africa. Says Lion there. And also Step Brothers were funny. And yes, Paul says Sakabula. Yeah, very nicely done by Viridian. Okay, the chicken is all. Okay, that was ugly from the number 20 there. Jared Taylor. He's actually put the spine, or he actually landed right on the spine of the man who scored the try, in fact, and it's 2020 or 21:20 in South Africa. What time is it in New Zealand? Says Kawasi. Currently, we are sitting 7:20 a.m. On the Thursday morning. So we recently had our daylight savings, which meant we were at 8:20 a.m. currently, but we went back an hour. So yeah, now 7:20. So it's getting dark very early, and it should be light now. Yep, pretty light at the moment. Okay, it's a penalty from the halfway line for the Bulls due to the foul play of Jared Taylor. So he might even get himself in the bin here if he's not too careful. Yellow card, he's going off the field for 10 minutes. He's only just got out there, and that's actually the blood replacement. Jared Taylor, though, cannot go in. Man, that guy's got a chin on him. He's got a massive head down the bottom. He probably can take a punch. And also, daylight savings ends or ending means winter is coming. And there's also, what I expect the Bulls to put the province in the ground. But who knows? Maybe province can pull something together. I don't know. There's not everyday cultures there. And yeah, the last thing they wanted in that situation was another yellow card for something that doesn't help them out at all, because they already had the try scored against them. And now 5 meters out, Ivan Funsale about to line up this throw. Or in fact, sorry, it's Joe Funsale. Also, Mazi Boko on the field. Bruce coming off, and that is for Lions as the other replacement here. So quite a few of the front row have gone off of both sides. Now it's passed out the back here for the Bulls. This could be a second try in very short succession, and it stopped nicely. It's a penalty to the Western Province. So that will be a lifeline and a half for them, and now they do get to get that one down the field by just a little bit more. Very lucky, you'd have to call it, though. Currently now 20 minutes left. Obstruction is the call, and Kade Volhata will be kicking this one for the touchline. Like I mentioned, I saw this guy a while ago, and he got injured in that game, sadly. I think it was actually the knee they did give out, which is why he's still got the strapping on him at the moment. But he's a brilliant player called Kade Volhata, in a future maybe star, perhaps. And I don't think whether outside is dark, daylight, sunny, runny, or rainy, it doesn't really matter with you, Hamish. Says Danny, although today I am going to be staying up right throughout the day. Even though I stayed up all night, I'm going to be staying up through the day, get myself back into the right clock rather than sleeping during the day, because or else I'll be very tired for Super Rugby Sevens, URC, Champions Cup, all those ones that we got this weekend. I can't wait for the Bulls versus Stormers game this weekend. It's going to be at 12 a.m. New Zealand time, and hopefully we will be able to cover that on the channel. I don't think any other games overlap with it, which is perfect, because we will be able to cover that one pretty much straight after Super Rugby's finished. So we're going to have 5, if not 6 or 7 in a row on that Saturday night. Now driving their way forward quite nicely once again here for the Stormers. Kade Volhata trying to pierce the gap. He's spun out of one tackle, but he's dragged down and then by Swanepoel. And the Stormers, they need to fire themselves straight back over the try line here if they want any chance of being able to get themselves a win. Bobby Alexander passing off to one of the big forwards, I believe. That was Mazi Boko. Here's Gary Sergio Pedersen now goes for the little grubber in behind. It's going into touch, just a little bit off with the radar, but it does now put the Bulls under a little bit more pressure. I was wondering what that noise was, but it was the door. I thought it might have been thunder. But someone else is up at this stage, seeing as it is 7:23 a.m. It means that they're probably getting ready to go to work, more than likely. Are we going upstairs again? No, we're just telling the Bulls that they need to hurry up. And good idea. Fix the body clock. Chase some wallabies outside, mate, for some activities to do. I mean, not the most common activity around these parts. Just randomly chase some wallabies. But, I mean, if you count editing as an activity, although I'll do something outside as well. But today I've got about 10 videos that I want to get done and ready for, like, the next few days or so. He's in New Zealand, Australia. And there's us, he's not everyday cultures. And also, who do you prefer, Hamish, Bulls or the Stormers? It's a tricky question because, of course, these two sides are the two equivalents, I guess you could say, of the lower level of Bulls versus Stormers. So whoever I say, there's going to be some people who love the answer, some people who hate the answer. So, to be honest, I do like both of them. Like, they've both got star players that I love watching. So I'm going to take the cheap option and just say I like them both the same, which probably annoys people a little bit more than me actually picking one. And also Stormers in there says Lion, and also Stormers says not everyday cultists. Looks like we've got a few Stormer supporters in the chat as well. Okay, they're not 5 out. They are closing the gap a little bit at the back there, and it's almost worked out for them, but now it's going to be grabbed nicely by it as the big number 18, Mazi Boko. Once again, with another carry, the Stormers, the Western Province. We've mentioned the Stormers, and now I'm probably going to call them that a few more times down in New Zealand. There's a big wallaby farm, and how much time I left? Says Martins at this stage, we have still got another 15 minutes left in this game. And the Western Province, if they get another try, they are right back in this one. And the bonus point currently going the way of the Bulls. Kade Volhata trying to use those quick feet, make his way through a gap, although the Bulls' defense is always very strong right next to the breakdown. Trying to spin out of it. It was Fokozela. Still available for the Bulls here. Sergio Peterson flat pass. Once again, it will be Muzzy Boko. He's had about 4 carries so far. I think that might have been almost a knock-on, but it's going to be all right now for them. Schmidt, the try scorer from early on. And also we have got there what's happened with the women's cricket, or what's happening with the women's cricket I haven't been following of late. Says not everyday culture. So the Australian women, they went right through undefeated in the World Cup, and they did end up winning that final up against England. Sergio Peterson, nice ball on the outside. Out into the hands of Tristan Lades. We haven't really seen him too much. And that's a joke, right? Or why farm with wallabies? Can you eat them? And they're, or not really, it's not a farm. It's more of just like there's a couple at the park, and also there's a gorge that has kind of wild wallabies on the side of the road. Just kind of chilling out. So I'd also go Bulls. Says Steve Austin there as well. And also I do think Hamish prefers the Stormers a bit more though. Says your demise there. And also I say a Bull no matter what, because the Bulls in there, as I said, honestly, I would try and say that, but I feel like I would just embarrass myself trying to pronounce it, I should say. Currently now the Bulls. Tristan Lades had just gone right around the midsection from Cornell Hendricks, which created the chance for the Bulls to get the turnover, and also Stormers. And there's not your everyday culturist. Currently now, if the Bulls score themselves another try, they are going to win this game, I would think. But if the Stormers, or sorry, the Western Province, I'm going to do that a lot. And I'll say they don't eat off the floor, is what it means. And as well, that's gone backwards, although that time it was a little knock-on. I thought, no, they're going to continue just for now. Mornay Stain passing across now to Dava Krill, who kicks it up high. Is looking for that one to sit up beautifully for him, knocks it forward. Double knock-on there from himself. And now the Western Province, see, now we've said the Stormers. And now my brain keeps on saying that they are playing. Of course, they are playing this weekend for the URC, which will be a very exciting game at 12 a.m. New Zealand time. We will hopefully be up for that game. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already. Currently, the Western Province trying to drive their way forward. It's a knock-on, and it's a big mistake from De Jong. The last thing they wanted there, and now the Bulls from about 25 metres out will have themselves a line out, or they won't. They'll have a scrum. Western Province also still a man down for the next 3 minutes, but they're making a couple more subs by the sounds of it. Okay, so Tennyson, he actually came off the field initially for Jared Taylor, who then got that yellow card. And that now looks like it is going to be Richard Creel making his way out there. Who's he replacing? It is going to be James Veridian for that one. So now Richard and David both there out on the field. Where is Jesse when you need him? And also a huge game this weekend. I'm so pumped. This game will decide the future of the URC for the South African teams, no doubt. It's not your everyday culture. So, yeah, it's going to be a huge one. And also alongside that, Blitzbox, they're back in action for the Sevens. We will be covering that on the channel as well. All throughout Sunday, we'll be keeping you guys informed of who is winning what games. And also, we'll be doing quite a bit of the live commentary for those matches as well. But the Blitzbox currently on a 34-match winning streak. Huge. Huge indeed, because they are actually only 14 away from being able to chase down the all-time highest win streak. They're currently tied for second highest. And with their first game being up against, I think they've got like Canada or someone in their first game, they should be able to do it relatively comfortably. That ball's available now at the back of the scrum for the Bulls. They've got the advantage. Breaking off now. Keegan Johannes. He does get close. Oh, he reaches out. He doesn't quite get it down, though. He did risk it by trying to get it out there. Now only a couple meters. In fact, it's less than 1 meter now for the Bulls. They've been told to use it. There's about 7 forwards who are all jumping in. And Kuboka tries to get himself over. That's going to be held up, though, I believe. As it is, and it's goal line dropout. It's going to be make or break. And there's his line as well. And also color version of Afrikaans. The original way of saying it is these days I speak since I hang out with them a lot. Here's your demise there. Apparently now it will be a Mornay Stain with the goal line dropout. No, they're going right back for the initial penalty. And then also we've got there, Hamish, you need some mods or some of your mods on here shouting for some likes with over 100 watching, mate. And there's his pleasure. So, yeah, anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It's usually appreciate it. I really need to work on asking for likes. Like, I never end up saying about it, but I probably should mention a lot more. But, yeah, anyone who is new, sure to hit that subscribe button as well, as we have got plenty more of the Currie Cup, plenty more of the URC, Super Rugby. You name it, we will be covering it on the channel coming up, including the tour between South Africa and Wales for the rugby that is coming up relatively soon in July. But now they're going for the rolling maul. It's gone backwards off the back. Now Joe Funsaddle, and they're a couple meters out once again here. They just seem to be making meters a little bit too easily at times here for the Bulls. Very close to the line now, trying to dive over. He's short of the line by half a smidge, and Joe Funsaddle drops low. He tried to crawl forward there, and it is still going to be just half a centimetre off the line. The referee looking for the grounding. He sees it, and that is going to be the try now for the Bulls, and the try was scored by Nkoboka, who was able to get it. I mean, I did say that he'd be a key, but I actually said he'd be a key for his work in the scrum, not actually scoring a try. I didn't expect that for Nkoboka. Doing very nicely there. There we go, and he has scored it in the 71st, so you'd have to say that that puts a nail in the coffin, and the Bulls should be able to get themselves a win here, and now it's just a question of how many will they win by. And come on, guys, let's get the stream to 100 likes. So it's not your everyday cultures there, and also we've got their level like this is your demise. And also Morning Same will be back for the next Lions tour. Or we'll be back for the next. We talked about it earlier, and we were saying even if it's just as some sort of like have him as the 40th man in a 39-man squad, bring him on for the final kick of a tour, and then no one's going to be able to top that ever in history. Like, no one's ever going to be able to play 3 British and Irish Lions tours. That's 24 years worth, or closer to actually 30, depending on when they started, and also Kawasi the next 2. Maybe it becomes a running thing, how like when Mornay's like 70, he just comes back, does one final kick, and he's just like, he just keeps on going. Smash the like button and bang the subscribe button. And there, as it says, your demise, but that one's going to be kicked off high now. 71 minutes through this game. Western Province trying to line up that ball, unable to do so. I believe that is actually Tennyson who's back out there now after coming off. He's got plenty of tape on the nose. Looks like he wants to take it quickly. He was looking for the ball. It's available there for them. The Western Province, they have taken that one quickly. And that was for not releasing the ball. If they get one more try, they get the bonus point. If they get 2 more tries, they are just out of this one. And Morning Sam will rock up in a wheelchair and slot the 50-metre kick. And as I said, it's not your everyday cultures. This could be a try. Going for the corner. And Tristan Lade scores 1. That is 1 that they need. They get the bonus point for the Western Province anyway. I think Tristan Lades is regretting doing that forward roll over the try line because he looks like he's probably feeling a little bit of pain in the back. But Tristan Lades has scored that one. That was a lot quicker than they got it earlier on. So it's literally 2 tries within about 2 minutes of each other. And it was all from the Western Province just putting on that extra pressure off the kickoff. And golf today, says Danny. We'll have to see what the weather's doing. It is currently, I think it's going to rain later on. I think there's about an 80% chance that it's going to be raining. But AQ, my day off on YouTube. I go on great. I get back today and my dad came over. So that was pretty awesome for you, Brandon. And you glove that like button and smash it into infinity. This is not your everyday content, cultist and also province. And then good morning, Irish. Says cracking down under. Welcome, mate. Hope you're doing well. Apparently must be early morning start for yourself. Do I hear rain? You know, it doesn't look too bright out there, but I think it's just off raining here, so I don't know how much golf would be on the cards for it. But that one has missed away to the side, so now the score 27 for the Western Province and 38 for the Bulls. It's going to be a close finish in this game. It's on Mornay's 100th birthday. We will have the victory, or he will have the victory kick against whoever we play in the World Cup. As I says, your demise, geez, he hit the ground hard there. Tristan Lade soon he did his forward roll. But still, the Bulls' lead is too big. He's not your everyday cultist unless they score again within the next maybe 4 or so minutes. I swear I feel like a drained battery right now, says Amelia there. So I guess what's your recharging mechanism? Is it a coffee of some sort? Something along those lines. I know that, is this just me or does anyone else have an iPhone that keeps 1% for like longer than the other 99% of your phone? My phone can stay on 1% for like half an hour to an hour, but like anything else, like it's on 43 and it's charging at the moment. And trying to get a video today, but I got a copyright for video, but it's not coming out. And also if Masters Golf is on, or if not, Masters Golf is on today, Tiger Woods are playing after the car crash, miraculous. Yeah, that guy just keeps on adding new accolades. And yeah, that's my iPhone, says Kawasi. Well, that one is over now. Currently, the ball's going to be just available. Oh, that's popped back on the side of the Bulls. Oh, it's popped back to the Western Province. Someone's playing table tennis on the ground, and that's going to be the penalty there to the Bulls now. Maybe it just feels so much longer. It says not your everyday cultist. And it seems to be like you just sit there, you see 1%, you know you've charger, like you've left it somewhere else, and you're just sitting there on the edge of your seat. Trucking. Might have to buy a charger like yourself from that other week. Although you said it was like $40, didn't you? Which was probably quite an expensive charging one. Because do you have, I guess it's a newer truck, isn't it? So it would have that one that you plug into your, is it your cigarette thingamabob that zaps it? Or has it actually got USBs? And Kwasi said, try time in there. Yeah, they're only 5 minutes out going for the corner once again. Does it snow in winter where you stay? Not really. Like we probably get winter, or sorry, we don't get winter. Or we do get winter, but I was about to say it probably snows about once every 7 years, like snowing heavy enough that it actually settles type thing. And a can of Blue V, because I'm not fond of hot drinks, and it's a rare occasion. That is a very good rolling maul. They go over for the penalty try, maybe. Or did they go over? Oh, there's a little kiss for someone in the crowd. Also, you just appreciate that 1% so much more. You do. I think Funsell has once again just ruined the chances of the Western Province getting back into this match. Little blow of the whistle from the referee. Okay, was it a yellow or was that a penalty try? I think it was Funsell's try. Got a double blow of the whistle again. I think the referee just really likes blowing the whistle. So I think it is going to be. I think it's actually, was it a penalty try? It might have been a penalty try. We'll give it a Funsell. He had the ball and he was only about an inch from the line, but it might have ended up being a penalty try in the end for that one. And also over there, come on, Province, let's eat these cows alive, says Morse. Pitbull looking better image last time. It looked like you had hit a golf, or you had been hit by a golf ball. Yeah. Earlier on, it looked like it had been punched in the forehead, which is not ideal overall. And also we have got the iPhone is just playing weird. And good morning, Amish. I'm going to see Reed today at youth group. We are going to a laser tag. I reckon Reed will get me. I'm going to run away, says Ollie Wilson for that one. And also we have got the how are you today update on the podcast, says it Brandon there. I'm doing pretty well overall. And if we're talking about the rugby down under podcast, I haven't really heard too much yet, but I assume it's going to be coming back maybe in July if it does come back, somewhere around the international rugby scene. And refers, crap, damn, cheers. Have a big day tomorrow. And there's more, so we'll see you later on, mate. And also, Sadly Stormers couldn't make it to get into the match. And yeah, they do just need a couple more tries, but they've got 3 minutes to do it, so it's going to be tough for them. Morning, buddy. Says Johnny Blaze, welcome in, mate. That Chiefs kit, should I be wearing it this weekend up against the Blues? That's the big question, because currently that's going to be a tough game. And ref is always crap when Western Province or Stormers is losing. And there's says Yadamais. Right, now passing it back across, and thanks for the game. Nice played. And there's us, Steve Austin, and we have got plenty more of the Currie Cup, the URC, and all things rugby coming up very soon. Also, is it with the BKR guy that George was mentioning? It is with BKR Sport, and thanks for the game. And also, do you want to talk about podcast on Discord, says Brandon? After this one, I'm probably going to grab myself a nice big drink and some breakfast, seeing as it is actually, morning, I guess you could say there. And also, but at least the Stormers are going to come on strong this Saturday for the big URC clash, going to be epic. Says not your everyday culture, it sure is. And we will hopefully be covering that one on the channel also, but currently just wearing away at a couple more minutes, 78 minutes through here. And they are still just trying to get themselves over the line. They've got another advantage. Nice run forward from Cade Vulhata. And that one now passing it back across. Tennyson, he's got a massive bandage right across the eyes. And also, what's for breakfast, bro? I don't know that was very high, wasn't it? I'll probably find, I don't know, I'm keen on some cornflakes. That's a try. How bad did my voice sound throughout that little moment? It sounded like I was back in high school. But it's a try there in the end. And I believe it was Davids who was able to get himself the try there. It was indeed Angelo Davids. They score another try. They want to get themselves at 7 points or 1 bonus point for being within 7. But David scores the try. And it was in the 79th minute. So now it gets closer and closer. I think the sun's coming out. It might actually be a nice day. That's there. And also we have got their bacon and eggs. Bacon and eggs is a good option. I all do enjoy me some bacon and eggs. What else? I feel like I could have a right smorgasbord, couldn't I? A can and a coffee. And there as well, said Brandon. What else we got? I mean, I know that I could make like a smoothie of some sort, maybe McDonald's pancakes and bacon McMuffin. I get on the car, Hamish. And there's this Danny Lewis nicely taken. I mean, if I messaged George and was like, you want Macca's, he'd probably be like, yeah, all right. Even though he's probably going to be working. My prediction for the semi-finalists, South Africa, New Zealand, France, and Ireland. And there as well says not everyday cultures. Although the big thing there is I believe all four of those sides play each other respectively in the quarterfinals. So it would actually be the other side of the draw that you got to find a couple more teams on. Kick downfield from Kane Volhata, and they continue to look for their bonus point peanut butter bread and dipping it in coffee is the best eat in the morning, as well, says your demise. And all of the Kiwi lads, I do one more thing on Far Cry 6, says Brandon. Currently 45 meters out. It's going to be a big throw here for Vokozela. How is it going to go? That's the big question. He needs this one to be straight because if they want the bonus point, the thing is, the bonus point would be great for them, although it doesn't change their season. They're still sitting only on the 7 points at this point in time, but it could be the difference between a quarterfinal and not. I'll throw England in then. He's not your everyday cultist, but that one and also love it game, and you guys are making me hungry. Says Sakabula. Of course, it's evening in South Africa, isn't it? Close to 10 p.m. at night. So maybe, I mean, is it worth a little early midnight snack? I guess you could say, you know, maybe you find something. You got to have something though that's probably not too hefty. That was close. I believe that is going to be fine for now. There's another yellow card that I didn't actually mention for the Western Province from that penalty try. KFC fried chicken for breakfast won't be bad. And then that's going back for another penalty to the Western Province. These boys want to keep on playing all throughout the night. Well, it looks like Sergio Peterson considered taking it quickly. And ended up getting it. And did he get the conversion? Or did he get conversation? I assume that is, did he get conversion? And it was a penalty try in the end. So they did end up pretty much just giving it. But the earlier try for the Western Province, they did end up missing. And I think not. He's not your everyday coldest. But yeah, I gave it to Joe Funsale because I think he was actually pretty much over the line anyway, but they ended up saying it was a penalty try, which is why there was that yellow card. Bit of a yawn there, but currently 20 meters out now. Western Province, and also we have got the Far Cry 6, how to change the weather. Is it possible to do that? I don't actually know that there was a way of being able to actually change the weather there. And thanks for the game, Amish, and good luck. Going to be a long day for you, Go Bulls. And there, as I said, Sakabula. And yeah, this stage, we got a nice big day of editing planned out. And then after that, we've got Super Rugby, the URC tomorrow. Sergio Peterson kicks it in behind. This one might sit up. No, it's kicked into touch. Going back for the initial penalty once again for the province. And then this game ain't going to end. Yeah, seems like they're going to be playing for years. At this point in time, I mean, I know that we had a Super Rugby game that went for 90 minutes. Can they top it here? Denison, I think once again they are going to be kicking this one for the touchline. It will be in the form of Kad Vulhata. I think my brain's told me it's after 80 minutes and now it's the time that normally the match would be over. And hence the yawning. But so far, it's looking like this game doesn't want to end. And full-time score is 45-32. And that is if they get this line out wrong. And yeah, you need to get a dog and a cat. And as I also finally says Kawasi. So I think I'm a little bit behind, but it must be coming up very soon, I would think. More likely, if Province take over, I'm cackling a cold one. I'll throw some lamb chops on the braai as well. Take it nicely once again at the front of the rolling ball. Tell you what, it might be overdue to a try. Perhaps if they do get this one going forward by just a little bit more. Only 10 minutes out here for the Western Province. I've been told to use it once. I've been told to use it now. Going to be a good run forward from Cornell Smith, 5 meters out from the line here. Is it a penalty to the Bulls? It is. And that is the way that the game will be ending. I assume they'll just take the quick tap, kick it out. And then after that, it will be the end of this matchup. Certainly the most exciting game of the Currie Cup this round. We did see an earlier game where there was only one try scored, and that was in 10 minutes into the game. This game will certainly be treated to plenty of tries. Mornay Stain takes the tap, kicks the ball into touch, and that will be the end of this match. And it was the win for the Bulls and Aussie. Scoreline showing 45-32. Was confused. And as well as Barry Green, yeah, it probably was up to about 85 minutes, was it, Also, but that is the end of the game now. And also, can you do a Far Cry 6 on the Q Labs Extra? We could eventually possibly look at it. And also, can you post games on Discord? Would be easier to follow. And as I says, Danny Lewis, as in like the link to watch the games live, I assume. Oh, no. Sorry, you mean like posting a schedule of what we've got. But yeah, we will be posting that on our Discord very soon, hopefully. And also, I'd like to make a little spreadsheet that can pop up on the screen so you guys know what to expect for upcoming weeks, just because we do that many live streams that they're always at the randomest times. But I do link the scheduled live streams on Discord so that you guys do know whenabouts they are taking place. But the full-time score for this game, 45-32 for the Western Province, Kutsa, Tennyson, and also Smith and Lades and Davids. I should add him on the end as well. I know I keep videos on YouTube. I think it was as in like the kind of scheduled type thing of when the games are taking place rather than actually showing the game for that one. And that was a decent game for Province. First time in a while. At least the Stormers are on fire in there. Says not your everyday cultures. And speaking of the fire, the Bulls were bringing it. Hunt, Johannes, David Creel got 2. Nkoboka and Funsell was the other man who was able to score it. Nonetheless, I think that is almost going to be the end of this live stream. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're going to be back tomorrow. In fact, no, not tomorrow, the next day, depending on whereabouts you are in the world. That is going to be the matchup for Super Rugby. And then also alongside that, it is going to be the matches taking place of the URC. We've got the Sevens. We've got also some of the Champions Cup we are hoping to cover. So we've got plenty coming up in a very short moment. There's a game between the Matildas and the Football Ferns on Friday night. We won't be able to cover that, though, as there is going to be some Super Rugby at that stage in UCC ball, and that would be good. I know it can be unpredictable at times. It gives us a good timeline. And there says Danny Lewis and also Angelo Davids are single-handedly holding Province together. And this is not your everyday cultures. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. Be sure to check out the QLAD Sport as well. It is that pin comment up there in the chat. And I will see you all